and learning methodology. Thank you very much. Sir, over to you, Mr. Srinivasan, over to you.
Thank you, madam. Good afternoon, everybody. And respected Assistant Commissioner Narasimhan sir.
Okay.
Respected Assistant Commissioner Mr. Raju sir and Principal Malleshwaram and my dear participants. At the outset, let me thank Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan for this opportunity. Our director, sir, for permitting me to take this session, and Bangalore region for giving me this opportunity to be a resource person for this session. Okay, friends, have you seen that Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan is a forerunner in every field? Whenever any new thing is being introduced by the government of India in education side, our Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan will be a role model for that, to conduct a lot of workshops and training the teachers and giving an example to others. For example, when CCE was introduced, then OTBA was introduced, PSA was introduced, B2B, then learning outcomes, then now the NEP. We are taking the NEP from every part of it, and we are taking so many workshops on that. For example, we started with CBL, then we had a foundational numeracy and foundational literacy. Then in that foundational literacy, we had phonics, and we are going to have this foundational numeracy also. And some participants from your region also, they are going to attend, which starts from 19th. And regarding this particular program, it is a very nice one to learn it from us. Okay, now once again, I thank everybody. Let me start my presentation. Welcome back, friends, to the Statement of Teaching Philosophy workshop. And at the outset, let me start with a very interesting quoting. To the world, you may be just a teacher, but to your students, you are a hero. Therefore, once again, good morning to all the heroes, those who are present here, and the heroines also. And remember that as you are a hero, Sangathan will always be ready to keep your heroism till the end of your days in Sangathan. That is why these types of workshops are being held. Okay. Now, before we started, let us try to recollect some of the definitions which we have already seen. For example, let us see what is learning, because these are all very important to get an idea about what is actually a teaching philosophy. I think no need to answer this. Whenever I ask you to answer certain questions, either you can mute your mic and answer, or you can type it in the chat box. I can read it from the other computer also. Learning is defined as a process that brings about behavioral changes. It is a very interesting definition. About learning, whenever we want to tell, we will tell that it is a process which brings behavioral changes. It is a skill that might be acquired by individual as a student, as later as working adult. That is why, remember, for you also, I think even Mr. Narasimhan sir also was telling, you have to learn. There is a famous proverb, don't stop learning, because life will never stop teaching. Don't stop learning, because life will never stop teaching. And people learn differently based on their individual unique style of learning. Now, this is a very great thing which our teachers have to be very careful, because we are having a heterogeneous group of students where they learn differently based on their individual style of learning. Okay, now this is about learning. Now let us try to just see what do you mean by teaching. But remember, I think all of you know that, sir, we are having a degree in teaching, and we have just come out of that. We are having B.Ed and M.Ed. But let us see what is teaching. Teaching denotes a process to facilitate learning. Already we have seen what is learning now. Teaching is a process which will facilitate. Teaching also refers to the presentation of knowledge and demonstration of ability or skill. Effective teaching enables students to make connection of the old and the new knowledge to form new ideas. That's why whenever we are talking about teaching, we will not stop with that. We will always talk about effective teaching. Okay. Now we have seen two things now. What is education, what is learning, and what is teaching. Now this teaching, what are the content in it? It should be a supporting one, it should be a empowering one, and it should be engaging, and you have to care and share, and it should be reflecting something on the child, and it should be assessing, and it should be testing. And for teaching, there are 3 B's which you have to remember. One is prepared, another is concerned, and the third one is yourself. And let us see, learning we have seen, then we have seen what is actually teaching, just we have recollected. Let us see what is education. The primary aim of education is to impart the desired knowledge or relevant skills to students. Through the process of education, students are expected to enhance their critical thinking skills. And nevertheless, is provided not only formally by instructor, but also when one learned through experience in real life. That is why there is a famous Sanskrit sloka, which it tells that through education you are getting 1/4 from whom, 1/4 from the other person, 1/4 from your parent, 1/4 from your teacher, 1/4 from the book you are reading, and 1/4 from the environment. Therefore, I think some disturbance is there. Who is not muted, please mute. The education is provided not only by instructors, but also one learns through experience in learning. Okay, now this education is derived from a word which it tells leading out. Actually derived from a word educate, comes from the Latin word educere, which it means leading out. Therefore, the student into a wider world of knowledge. Okay. Now think, you see, now we have seen what is learning, what is teaching, and what is education. Now let us see the situation of the student. Actually, remember, from the early stages, they started with a disciple in a Gurukul. Then after that, when the classroom started, up to certain stage, they were a passive listener in the class. When A for apple, B for ball, and it was going up. Then after that, they participated in the teaching learning process. And we started introducing something called, for example, CCE. Then we were talking about activities. Then they actively participated in teaching learning process. Now, what is the current situation now? They are digitally connected with you. But remember, friends, I think all of you, maybe those who are having more than minimum 10 years experience, you may be seeing that the use of computers or use of PPTs or use of any other gadget, it was only an add-on to your teaching. Whenever inspection comes, we will take it and we will show it in the inspection time only. But remember that digitally using it and digitally, taking classes has become a part and parcel of your work now. Now the thing is that, are you ready for this? Starting from the Gurukul to digitally connected, it is being, there is a lot of changes have been done. Now, how can you follow the same teaching learning process? Can you follow the same teaching learning process as you had in Gurukul, or you had it in the passive listener case, or in the actively teaching learning process? No, it is not at all possible. That is how to change your teaching learning process. Hello, some disturbance is there, sir, please. Sir, some disturbance is there. Is there anybody who has not muted the mic? Please mute. Okay, now you cannot follow the same teaching learning process. For this, what you should know? You should know philosophies. I think whenever I use the word philosophy, some of you may be thinking that, sir, ye mere liye bahut dur ki baat hai. That is why whenever I use the word philosophy, all of them feeling that it is something away from our, it is out of the box. That is why whenever I think Madam also has made one group called philosophy workshop group. So, but remember, this is the case. The child has changed even his desk has changed. Previously he was sitting like this. Now he is going to sit like this. For this, what you need? You should equip yourself with modern technology. You should, because in the 21st century, you are not only a teacher, you are an adapter, you are a communicator, you are a learner, you are a visionary, you are a leader, you are a model, you are a collaborator, and as usual, no need to tell you, you are a risk taker. Now, to have these multidimensional characters, what you should know? You should know philosophy of education. Now, as I told you earlier, don't get scared about the word philosophy, because philosophy derived from two words, philo and sophos. Therefore, which means that love of wisdom. Therefore, Madam has created a WhatsApp group which is Love of Wisdom WhatsApp group. Therefore, don't get confused with the word philosophy. Now, let us now take our journey towards, let us try to learn what is this philosophy of education. Now, this education actually it is having the focus on goal, forms, methods, and meaning. Now, there are, I think, if when you go to net, there are so many philosophies of education, but I have taken the very important one, which I think whatever I have listed out here, some of them might have heard about this behaviorism, constructivism, but there are something more than that. Let us see one after the other very quickly. Essentialism, then perennialism, progressivism, then existentialism, behaviorism, constructivism, and reconstructivism. Okay, I will just explain you in one slide what is this essentialism. Very simple. The word itself tells that it is training the mind with what are essential. Why to teach it? To instill students with the essentials of academic knowledge, enacting a back to basic approach. Therefore, we are just framing our own curriculum for this philosophy, essentialism. Then the next one is perennialism. I think we have used the word, it is a perennial. Perennial means it is always everlasting. Teaching ideas that are everlasting. To teach students to think rationally and develop mind that can think critically. I think even we are always talking about that critical thinking should be included in the syllabus. CCT, we are talking about critical thinking and creative thinking. Then the third one is progressivism. I think without progress, nothing will be there, even if it is for a student or even it is for a teacher. Educations come from the experience. Why teach? To develop learners into becoming enlightened and intelligent citizens. This progressivism is actually come from the experience. Therefore, we are always talking about experiential learning. Then the third one is exercialism, focuses on individual freedom to choose their own purpose in life. Actually, it is highly interesting. Previously, when a person is after his 11th standard only, I'm talking about the older system. After 11th standard only, he will come to know that what will be his future. Whether you want to become a doctor or you want to become a scientist or you want to become a lawyer also. But remember now it has come to even when he is in 10th standard, now he can go for it and he can have his own freedom to choose his purpose in life. To help students understand and appreciate themselves as unique individuals. Then this one is behaviorism. I think you might have read it because even this is the basic principle of learning, that education, the acquisition of new behavior based on environmental condition. Why to teach? To modify and shape students' behavior. And constructivism, this is actually after maybe around maybe after this 2005 or 2006, we are going on talking about it. People construct their own understanding and knowledge of the world. Even curriculum is now being framed based on this constructivism to develop instinctively motivated and independent learners equipped with learning skill. Then this actually a thing which we have to be very careful. Reconstructivism emphasizes that addressing of social questions and a quest to create a better society. Why to teach? To attain social reform. Remember, when a child is going out of the school, he is going to become a citizen. Maybe you can call them as maybe he is having a lot of duties with him. He is becoming a responsible citizen. Therefore, you should attain a social reform. Now, at a whole, I will just tell you in a slide, what is these philosophies? Essentialism, learning the essential like the 3 R's. All of you know that what is the 3 R, reading, writing, and comprehension. Perennialism, utilizing the great books. Progressivism, learning by doing. Then the third one is having individual choice. Behaviorism, modifying behavior. Constructivism, constructing meaning. Deconstructivism, having social reform. Now, have you seen these 6 slides? Maybe, sorry, 7 slides. In that 7th slide, I will come back now. In all the slides, I'm just showing it once again, starting with the first one. I have asked only one question, I have answered it. Why teach? Once again, why teach? Again, why teach? Again, why teach? And again, why teach? And again, why teach? Now, can you tell me, what is the question you have to ask more? You can mute your mic or you can put in the chat box. Once again, I will show you. I have asked a question, why to teach or why teach? Now, can you put some more questions so that the answer will come out? What are the hidden questions here? Can anybody, you can mute your mic and talk.
What to teach?
What
Fantastic.
to teach and how to teach.
Okay, may I know your name, sir?
I am Raghu.
Okay, Mr. Raghu, you are 100% right. You see, whenever we are having the question why to teach, then the next question will be what to teach. And some madam also told, madam, I think two questions
Yes,
I heard.
sir.
One is
What to teach and how to teach.
fantastic, madam. Thank you. Congrats. Therefore, two questions are coming in our mind now. Suppose whenever a question why comes, we are having one more question, what to teach and how to teach. Okay, now to answer these questions. Okay, now this is actually once again, I will go for the, so many philosophies are there. Okay, now to answer these questions, what to teach, how to teach, we need teaching philosophy. Very simple. We are having, there is a philosophy called learning, that just now we have seen. Just to give how to teach and what to teach, we need teaching philosophy. Now a question comes in a teaching philosophy. Now please just spend maybe 1 minute time and try to answer why I teach. I think I don't want you to just, I mean, if you want, you can tell in the chat box why I teach, why you are teaching. Because teaching philosophy is based on only some questions. First question is why I teach. You can type in the chat box. We will just take one or two answers, then we will move to the next question.
There is aspiration for learning.
Yes, definitely, sir. Definitely, sir. Now, if you find it very difficult for you to unmute and then talk, bring out all-round development in the child. It is by KP Suma. Thank you. Can I have one more response so that I can reveal the answer? Now, anyway, to make better human being. Thank you. Now, actually, this is a question number 1 in teaching philosophy. The answer is serving as mentor and coach, encouraging lifelong learning, sharing my enthusiasm for learning, improving science literacy. I think here it is written as science literacy. You put your particular subject there. For example, I can put mathematics literacy. Show that creativity and fun are parts of learning. You see, these are the things actually, can you see whatever the answers given here, why I teach. It is actually not only confined to your syllabus. Whatever the syllabus you are teaching, nothing is there in your syllabus. That is why so many of them will try to tell. Whenever you are a teacher, you should not cover the syllabus. All of you are shocked? You should not cover your syllabus. What you have to do is, you have to uncover the syllabus. When you uncover the syllabus only, you can teach a lot of things to the child. You can serve as a mentor and coach. You can encourage them for a lifelong learning. You can share your enthusiasm for learning. Okay. Now my next question is, what I teach? Maybe don't try to answer me Sanskrit, English, science, social science like that. I'm not talking about the subject which you teach. Now the next question is why I teach. The next question to me is what I teach. Now I think I will take only 2 responses. Maybe in the chat box, who comes first? Okay, to be interesting. KP Suma. Thank you.
To help the child
Okay, to help the child.
how to face the problems of his in his
Okay.
life.
Now, what I teach means then you are giving them tips. Okay. Students correctly to love learning, value become a good human. Thank you, Ranjana Pandey. Thank you. Now let us see what listed out over here. Students' responsibility and accountability, critical, creative, and bold thinking, questioning I teach, problem solving I teach, communication skill I teach, science is for everyone teach. Actually, this has been taken from a science. Therefore, it is written that science is for everyone. You can convert it into mathematics for everyone, English for everyone, social science for everyone as per your convenience. Therefore, you see, what I teach is not Pythagoras theorem, not the equation of anything, not any theorem. It is responsibility and accountability. That is why they used to tell, whatever actually, suppose we are talking about values. we are not teaching values to the children. We are actually showing the values to the children. Okay, let us go to the third question now. How I teach. Highly interesting question. Now you just think, actually this is actually philosophy where you have to come out. Then how I teach. Why we are just trying to list out? We are going to list out this how I teach to check whether whatever the method you are using, it fits now. If it is not fitting, then I have to change myself. Can I get 2 responses, please?
My life examples.
Okay, you will teach with your own examples. Okay, I think Ram Prasad has told me that it is teaching the example. Suma once again has given me that involving the learner. Thank you. Now, very instructional strategies. Consider learning style and aptitude, actively engaging students, use technology for instruction, student access to real world technology. Okay, I think somebody has given, okay, anyway, thank you. Therefore, you see, how I teach, this actually how I teach comes under teaching methodology. Very instructional strategies, learning style, consider learning style and aptitude, engage student, technology. Anyway, I think we are doing it, without that we can't go. Student access to real world technology. Now, the 3 questions we have asked, what are the 3 questions? Why I teach, what I teach, how I teach. After everything is over, what you have to do? You have to measure your effectiveness. Can you tell me, how will you measure your effectiveness?
Test.
By testing the child?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Any other response can I have?
Satisfaction shown on the face of the child.
Okay, thank you, madam. I think somebody has written introspection, asking question, test, by getting feedback, active participation. Okay, thank you. Now let us see what are the effective answers. Reflective practice. I think this is actually a word normally student response, discussion, evaluation. Thank you. Reflective practice, authentic assessment. This is very, very important. Seed the advice and feedback. I think somebody has written it. Communicate with the students and parents. Remember, here I have not written how you measure the child. Once again, I repeat. The question is how you measure the child. To measure the child, you are having a lot of ways. Assessment, this, that, so many are there. But how I measure my effectiveness. Therefore, these are the 4 questions in teaching philosophy. You are going to answer it. Put it in the form of statement. That is called statement of teaching philosophy. I think some of you are very happy now that very clear. Why I teach, you have to answer. What I teach, I have to answer. How I teach, I have to answer. How I measure my effectiveness, you have to answer. But please wait. This is actually the basic thing in teaching philosophy, where we have to search for the answers for these questions. Why I teach, what I teach, how I measure my effectiveness. Therefore, whenever he's asking you how many years of teaching experience you have, you will definitely tell that I have 20 experience, 20 years or 25 years. Do you think that in all the 25 years it is a repetition? You have never asked the question why I teach, what I teach, how I measure my effectiveness. Every time when you change based on the present batch, the present environment. Now, the environment has already changed. Everything is being done through digitally. Therefore, why I teach will change, what I teach will change, how I teach will change, then how to measure your effectiveness will change. Okay. Now, remember, whatever the teaching philosophy we have just discussed now, what, why, how, everything should be student-centered. That should be very careful. That should be learning. That should be innovation. Networking should be proper. And you have to share so that all these questions, why I teach, what I teach, how I measure my effectiveness will be answered. Now, for this teaching philosophy, you should have to apply 2 things, theory and methods. Therefore, whatever you are going to write as a statement of teaching philosophy should not contain only theory. For example, I will do, we used to write in teaching diary. It will not help out in your philosophy. You have to tell the methods also. Active engagement, building enthusiasm, honoring difference, building trust, self-improvement, continuing assessment, fairness. Ask why before how. Remember, this is highly interesting. We will be asking the which question should come first. You have to ask why, then before how. That is why whenever I was talking about that philosophy of learning, for example, constructivism, there in that particular slide, I have given you only why constructivism is being introduced, why behaviorism is important. Then you came out with me the answers are how it should be done. Then what should be done? Like that. Okay, therefore, ask why before how, and you should have a positive environment. Now, if you have your this kind of teaching philosophy, if you draw the teaching philosophy with you, then you will teach by going through this way, path. I facilitate thinking, I engage minds, I listen to questions, I encourage risk, I support struggle, I cultivate dreams, I learn every day, and at last I teach. Remember, whenever you within you, you ask a question, why I teach, what I teach, how I teach, then how I measure myself. Definitely you will answer all these questions. You will facilitate thinking, you will engage minds, you will listen to questions, you will encourage risk, you will support struggle, you will cultivate dreams, and you will learn every day. And as such, by putting all together, you will teach the child. Well, let us now go into this statement of philosophy. For that, let us, I think even Mr. Narasimhan sir has explained you very nicely that it has come out of National Education Policy 2020. These are the key principles. I think so many are there. These 8 key principles are very, very important. Out of them, this Palmer, a very famous educationist, has told, good teachings come from identity and integrity of the teacher. Okay, it is very simple. Okay, I have my own identity, where you have your own identity, and everybody is having integrity. But remember, it will not stop there. And your ability to make this present in the classroom. How will you make this as present in your classroom? If you design your own teaching philosophy. You have your own identity, you have your own integrity. But how to show it, how to make this present in the classroom, you have to design your own teaching philosophy. Therefore, this is actually mentioned in chapter 5, 5.14. Those who are having a copy of that NEP 2020, this is the exact words I have selected from there. Teachers will be given more autonomy. Remember, the word more autonomy is given. What is the meaning? Already autonomy was there. They are giving you more. Therefore, now just in your back of your mind, now you ask a question. Whether by joining, whether by rendering a service of 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years so far, till 2020, how much autonomy I have selected? How much autonomy I have used? I don't know. Therefore, you have to ask these questions. It will be given more autonomy in choosing aspects of pedagogy so that they may teach in the manner they find more effective for the students in the classroom. I think this is the very, very simple wording, but having a lot of meaning. You have to teach in the manner they find most effective. What is the meaning? You have to select the way, the manner in which you are going to teach. How to get it? You have to list down your teaching philosophy. You have to list out the aspects of pedagogy. You have to choose the better pedagogy. Okay. Now, this is actually your own philosophy you can develop. There are 2 things I have written on the left side and on the right side. I think this was already given when you are having NCF 2005. When you see it, they have given a very interesting thing called shift from this to that. From a particular one, shift from one particular way of doing or one particular way of teaching, one particular way of learning to that. Now you see left hand side is teacher driven, right hand side it should be student driven. Provide information for children, co-constitutive ideas, teacher responsible for learning, student responsible for learning, content focused, process and application focused. Now here you have to select which one is better for you for your own philosophy. You have to list out it. Okay, well, now what are the contents of the teaching philosophy? Now you are ready now. you have in your mind that what is the important of teaching philosophy, why I should have, very simple, teaching philosophy should be listed out. Your own teaching philosophy is to be listed out so that you can have a effective teaching. What is learning? How do you teach? Honoring difference, technology, classroom management, other stuff. Other stuff means we are going to see what are they. Well, these are all the contents of the teaching philosophy. Now there is a cycle for teaching philosophy. Remember, whatever you have written this year, it is not. I think even everybody knows the teacher diary we are writing only 1 year. The next year will be the replica of it. The next year again it will be a replica of it. Okay, but this teaching philosophy should not be like that. First you write, then teaching philosophy gather dust, which means that you have used it for more than 1 year. Reread teaching philosophy in the preparation of job application anyway. Then think, wow, this is embracing bad. Then again you again write it, revise it. Like that, this teaching philosophy should be changed based on the current situation. Well, let us now go to the statement of teaching philosophy. What is it actually? Now you see, we have seen that teaching philosophy, if you put it in words, it is called statement of teaching philosophy. Now in some books, they are calling it as teaching philosophy statement. In some book, they are calling it as teaching statement. But we are going to call it as statement of teaching philosophy, STP. Is a brief personal statement that offers insight. Now this is actually, I have given a special color to it to tell you that it is 100% your personal statement that offers insight into an instructor's belief, your own belief. What is your own belief? Your own belief is how I teach, what I teach, like that. About teaching and actions in the classroom. Very simple. It is a teaching philosophy statement, personal statement that offers insight. In this workshop, what you are going to do, after learning what is it, you are going to write your own personal statement that offers insight, and that will be presented in the afternoon in your group work. Therefore, you are going to write the statement of teaching philosophy. Okay. What brings, this is actually another definition. What brings a teaching philosophy to life is the extent to which it creates a vivid portrait of how a person is intentional about teaching practices and committed to career. Remember, whenever you are teaching this teaching philosophy that I am going to do this, I am going to do this, then definitely it will give you a vivid portrait how you are intentional about teaching practices and committed to your career. Now, what is the purpose? I think all of you know that why I have to write. Now, normally this question will always come. Sir, I am writing teacher diary. There is a purpose for it. So that in the teacher diary, everything is available. I am planning a lesson and I am going to teach in this order only. That is a methodology is being written. Now, in the same teacher diary, we are going to write teaching philosophy statement also. Anyway, I think this is actually teaching philosophy statement or statement of teaching philosophy. Both are not the same. All the teachers will be writing it in your teaching diary. And in February 4th, a workshop was conducted by Honorable Joint Commissioner Training, in which I was the coordinator for that workshop. That is why I got some message from that. They are telling that every teacher has to write it in the teacher diary. Express your personal belief, opinion, and views about what you do as a teacher. Intended to be used for reflection, guidance, and personal development of yourself as a teacher. Remember, it is purpose is to make development of yourself as a teacher. It is more effective when you revisit and revise it frequently. Remember, it will not be effective if you don't do any changes. Provide a developmental history of your growth as a teacher. Can be supplemented with semesterly reflection. Short essays reflect on your teaching experience over the course of each semester. Okay, now the next, these are the purposes. The first purpose is very interesting. The first one is very important. It is expresses your personal belief, your opinion, and views about what you do as a teacher. Well, now I think once again your question, I wish to answer it. This question from my famous two educationists, Goodyear and Alchin in 1998. They told, well-defined STP is essential for creating and maintaining a culture supportive of learning. The process helps the teacher clarify the why of teaching. That is why I think we have answered some questions. Why to teach? as a foundation for what to teach and how to teach. Very interesting. If the question why is you got some points, based on that why, then you will try to answer the question what. Whenever what has come, then you will try to search for how to do it. So these three, why, what and how, will make definitely a better statement of teaching philosophy, and it will maintain a culture supportive of learning. Well, now this is another STP statement by about STP, a statement by Kearns and Sullivan 2001 and Kaplan et al. In 2008. The very act of taking time to reflect on your teaching can help you clarify your own beliefs or reveal inconsistencies. Remember, friends, the word inconsistency is very, very, very important. Have you seen? Have you you have your own way of guessing your making your own thinking whether your teaching is consistent, whether your methodology is consistent. Therefore, whenever you are writing this STP, it will reveal the inconsistencies. Thereby, if you write the inconsistencies, remember that it will facilitate the change and improvement that foster personal and professional growth. This is a very interesting way of explaining why to write STP. It takes time. The very act of taking time to reflect on teaching can help you clarify your own beliefs. You may be having a belief that it will clarify your belief and it will reveal inconsistencies. Not only it will reveal inconsistencies, it will give a remedy for it also. Then what are the components? These components you have to note down. Anyway, in our workshop, what we are going to do is, we are going to give you a kind of questions. You have to simply answer those questions. But these components of STP, it should have conceptualization of teaching, then conceptualization of learning, then understanding of the learner. Then in your class, based on the environment, you should tell that how your students are there. Then understanding of the content. Have you understood the content which you are teaching? Then you have to have assessment and evaluation. How you are going to go about this assessment and evaluation? Is it common for everybody, or you are having a special assessment or special evaluation? Then methodology to be used. Then I told you that this methodology will come whenever you are asking the question. After that, why, what, if you ask the question how, this methodology to be used will be answered. Then relationship with the students. You should have a better relationship with the student. So these components of STP is very, very important. Then what can be included in STP? You can include theoretical framework. What does learning look like? How does learning take place? Then you can have instructional goals also. What do you want students to learn in your class, in your subject matter, in their university experience? This can be included in the STP which you are going to give. What is the meaning of theoretical framework? What does learning look like? Now you can explain it. Then how does learning take place? Now remember this, how does learning take place? It depends on your school environment. It depends on the set of children which you are handling. Then what is your instructional goal? Now actually this goal is very, very important, because these instructional goals are going to fix your methodology. What do you want students to learn in your class, in your subject matter, in their university experience? University mean, I think you can, in that you can convert it into school experience. Therefore, what do students learn? Now you have to list out. This is actually called instructional goal. And that is why I think we are always calling it as the learning outcome, where we are simply checking, even in B2B also, we are checking whether the TOL, targeted learning outcome. Now we always talk about what do you want the students to learn in your class, whether they have learned it in the subject or through experience what they have learned. Now, whenever you want to ask so many questions, suppose you see, remember, if you ask questions only, you will get the answer. You are going to write those answers as statements in STP. It is very, very simple. I repeat once again, you are going to ask some questions. That question you will get answers from inside. you are going to list out those answers as statements, then your STP will be found. Now, what are the questions you have to ask? I think the previous slide I have told you that here you are having a theoretical framework. In the previous slide, I told you that you should have conceptualization of teaching, learning. You have to understand the learner, you have to understand the content, you have to have assessment, you have to have methodology, you should have relationship. Just to answer all these questions, a famous educationist has given one idea called teaching cube. The teaching cube means the cube is having how many faces? 6 faces. But apart from the 6 faces, there are 6 actions you have to make. Based on all those actions, maybe one face is representing a particular item. That item you have to ask questions and you have to start answering it. For example, examine each of the sides of the cube to choose the aspects of pedagogy. Number 1, learning. You can, I think it is simply called learn. You can have learning. Now, what are the questions you have to ask? What motivates to learn about these subjects? Very, very interesting. You see, whenever you ask this question, what motivates to learn about this subject? If you tell it in the class, if you write it in your STP, and when you ask it in the class, then if you explain it to the children, definitely they will enjoy the subject. Therefore, motivate. Then, why is this mode common? I think suppose if you think that all the children are having interest in learning a single subject only, why this is more common? This is actually one phase is learning. What would you motivate others similarly? The meaning is, suppose only one section of the class is getting motivated to learn mathematics. The remaining one is not motivated. Then what would you motivate others similarly? How will you motivate? This is actually one phase about learning. I am going to the next phase. The next phase is act. Act means action. It is, why do you value certain characteristic in teachers and then express those in your own teaching? Actually, this is actually your teaching philosophy. You may be having a thinking about your own teachers. When they taught you, then you might have got some very interesting thing from them. You can put it in action in your classroom. Why do you value certain characteristic in teachers and then express those in your own teaching? Then the third phase of the cube is a difference. Why does what do you in your teaching make a difference in lives of others? Why does what you do in your teaching make a difference in life of others? This is actually talking about values. Why it is relevant? Why it is relevant? This question when you ask, then you can write a statement and you can put it in your teaching philosophy, and based on that you can have a methodology. Then the next phase is values. That's why I already told you that in most of the classes we are not teaching, we are only showing the values. What values do you impart in your students and why? It's very, very important. When you write this statement, then definitely you will, suppose if you have not done it so far, definitely you will start doing it. Then the next phase is settings. What do you develop the learning environment and the relationship with students that you do? I think whenever I was showing you the slide having the components, the last component was relationship with the students. Now, it will come under the phase called settings in the teaching cube. Why do you develop the learning environment and the relationship with students that you do? Why do you develop? Okay, then the next phase is enjoy. Okay, anyway, I think everybody knows that everything should be enjoyed. What are your favorite statement to make about teaching? Why are they favorites? This, when you ask this type of question, then you can also try to get those type of motivation from the children also. Now, these are all the phases. I think I will come back to once again, all of you can see it once again. First phase is learn. 3 questions are there. The second phase is act. The third phase is difference. Fourth phase is values. The fifth phase is settings. The sixth phase is enjoy. You have to examine each of these sides to choose your aspects of pedagogy. Pedagogy, and like that you can write your ST. Now, your teaching philosophy should contain the following. What are they? How students should acquire knowledge. You should list out. both method and content.
Sir, Srinivasan sir,
Yes, please.
Mr. Vignesh sir is raising some hand. I think he wants to ask you some question. Mr.
Yes,
Vignesh
yes,
sir.
madam. Please, madam. Anybody raise their hand?
Vignesh sir, Mr.
Yes, sir, please.
No, carry on, please.
Okay, thank you,
I
sir.
have a question. I
Okay.
have a question.
Yes,
Sir,
sir,
you were
please.
telling about beliefs and inconsistencies.
Yes,
Can
sir.
you please give an example related to that?
That is why I told you now the way the methodology which you are using, if you use the same methodology, it is not consistent. You have to change your methodology. For example, that's why I told you that if you are having an experience of 10 years, you should not have the same methodology. Based on the current situation, you have to change your methodology. Then only your teaching learning will be consistent. And the belief is very simple. You will just teach something and you are believing that has reached the child, but the child wants something from you. Therefore, your belief. That is why even in training we are using the 3 words: learn, unlearn, and relearn. Now, learning means everybody knows that what is the meaning of that learning. And what do you mean by unlearn? It is nothing that whatever you have learned, you have to forget. No. Whatever you have learned wrong, you have to remove it. That is called unlearning. Then after that, if you have unlearned something, then there will be a gap. Therefore, you have to relearn it. Like that, whatever the beliefs you are having, suppose the belief, it may be definitely, I'm telling you, most of our belief, as per your experience, all our beliefs will be definitely correct. But from the student perspectives, your beliefs, you have to once again recheck it, whether your belief is correct or not. That is why whenever you write this STP, it will check whether whatever the beliefs you are having, it will have a checkpoint only. I am not telling that it will change all your beliefs and it will tell that all your beliefs will be nullified by that STP which you are going to write. And not only that, the word inconsistencies, don't take it in a negative way. If there is any inconsistency, the STP will help you to come out of that to make it consistent. That's all. Is it okay, sir?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Okay, now you have to be very careful. Your philosophy must contain. These are very, very important. There are certain components which should be there. Because that is why whenever I showed you a slide where your teaching philosophy should be what centered?
Child-centered.
It should be student-centered. Your teaching philosophy, whatever you are writing, whatever you are going to follow, it should be student-centered. So these 3 questions are very, very important. How students should acquire knowledge, that you have to decide, both method and content. How students should acquire intellectual skills, both method and content. How students should acquire ideas and values, both method and content. This should be mentioned in your STP. How students should acquire knowledge, you have to list out. How students should acquire intellectual skills, you have to list out. How students should acquire ideas and values, you have to list out. Be certain to identify your type and element, explain how you will apply your philosophy in your classroom. These are the things which should be there in STP. Remember, for STP, there is no, we cannot call it normally, whenever we are asking teachers to write something, they will always ask a very interesting question. Sir, is there any template for it? Is there any format for it? Remember, this teaching philosophy has no format. It has only components and it tells you that what should be there and how it should be presented. Some disturbance is there, sir. Please mute. Okay. But your philosophy should contain how students acquire knowledge, they acquire intellectual skill, they acquire ideas and values. Well, now these are the questions. I think some disturbance is there, sir, still. May I request those who are not muted, please mute. Okay. These are the questions which you have to ask before you are going to list out your teaching philosophy. How does learning happen? It will tell you whether there is any kind of problem in that learning happen method. What is quality teaching? How will you foster student growth? How will you put your teaching philosophy into practice? What is your personal growth plan? These are the questions when you are going to answer it in one after the other. You will get an idea about what you have to do to make your personal growth. Okay. Now I am going to tell you some questions. Sir, still some disturbance is there, sir. May I request? I don't know who is not muted.
Mr. Raghu YR.
Mr. Raghu, please mute your mic. Mr. Raghu Wayar, Mysore. Please mute your mic, sir.
Thank you. Now, you see, so many questions you can ask. But anyway, I think we want to have a kind of uniformity in this workshop. If I just tell that, sir, you write your STP and then present it in the afternoon, normally that may not be a kind of synchronization. Therefore, to make it a kind of synchronization, I have listed, or it has been listed by KVS headquarters only in that workshop which was conducted in 4th February. Question number 1. How do children learn? Highly interesting. If you list out it, then you can plan your thing. But remember, how do children learn? Very vast question. So many things will be there. But keep it in your mind. How do your children learn? I think that your is not there because it will vary from school to school. Next question is, how should I teach? Why this question is having a connection with the previous one? Because if I know how do children learn, then I should teach. Then the third one, how do I motivate the unmotivated learner? That is why that was also discussed with you in one of the slides. Suppose in one particular one, they are enjoying it in the class, the other not enjoying, then you have to motivate them also. Then the fourth question, what is my role as a teacher? Very interesting. I think whenever I ask you that, you can list out so many things. That is, as a teacher, I should be a guide, I should be a motivator, I should be this and that. But it's very interesting. Then the next question is, what is the role of my students? Very interesting. Suppose if you know their role, remember, if you know their roles only, you can give them proper direction. A margdarshan dene ke liye, you should know their roles. Then, what are my prime objective as the leader in the class? I think it's very interesting. Remember that you are the leader of the class. You are handling the whole class. You are the master in the class. Nobody is allowed inside actually. You are having your own autonomy in the classroom. So you are a leader. Then you are your prime objectives. There are so many objectives will be there, but you have to list out your prime objective. Then, what learning outcome can I anticipate? I think it is having a little bit with our NCERT that they are always talking about learning outcomes. But remember, whatever I am just asking this question number 1 to question number 7, you have to plan it as per your subject. Then the last question, how do I measure the success of my students? How do I measure the success? But remember, this measurement of the success, don't try to list out the things which is normally happening now. UT1, UT2, UT3, hourly, annual, like that. No. Formative assessment. No. You have to measure the success. Then how you are going to do. But remember, these are the questions, question number 1 to 8. Suppose if you answer these questions, suppose if you are making a kind of 2 or 3 liner, how do children learn? Then how should I teach? How do I motivate? What is my role? What is the role of my student? What is my prime objectives? Okay, what are my prime objectives? What are learning outcome? How do I measure? Suppose if you answer these questions one after the other, then it will become your teaching philosophy. Remember, when you answer all these questions, starting from how do children learn till how do I measure the success, you can plan your own teaching philosophy. You can go to the class with confidence, but you can plan accordingly and you can deliver whatever you want to deliver. Now, this is actually one teaching philosophy. I think some of you definitely ask me, sir, how to write it. Give me some samples. This is a sample. All students can learn when they accepted for who and where they are in their educational journey. Effective learning required collaboration. I believe learning takes place. Art education provide and art education is essential. This may be the answer to one of the questions. Maybe the answer to one of the question of whatever I asked earlier. Then, here one more teaching philosophy a teacher has listed out. He is talking about learning. I think all of you can read it, otherwise I will read it. He is telling that number 1, learning is a physical change in the neural network. is thinking about what is actually learning. Then number 2 is writing children learn through behaviorism, constructivism and cognitivism. I think that was the question which I asked. How children learn. The third one, the learning theory that best matches my teaching philosophy is constructivism. I think I told you that you have to select a method because I want to make things more hands-on, the interactive for my student. This teacher has written, he likes that constructivism. I think out of that 7, he selected constructivism. The fourth one, the strategies that I will use more often in my classroom are things that allow my student to be hands-on and interact as much I can with my lesson. Actually, in the fourth one, he is expressing how he will motivate, what are his strategies. Okay, then the fifth one, I will help students with the different learning preferences by adopting what teach when needed for student. Actually, this is fifth one is actually he wants to tell how he can motivate the unmotivated teacher. It's only an example just I'm giving you. Now this particular teacher has answered 5 questions and he is putting it in the form of statements. Therefore, it is his statement of teaching philosophy. Another one, I think Maya Anglilo, anyway, from foreign. I have learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. These are the teaching philosophy has written. I hope to ignite a fire if you have a passion. Max is everywhere. I implore you to find out Max that speaks to you anyway. This is actually a philosophy, teaching philosophy. A teacher has written how he will teach mathematics in the class. Then I'm just giving you some tips for writing a good STP. The questions already, I'm going to tell you that all the teachers, as per the, direction from the principal, all of you have been divided into 8 groups. All of you have been divided into 8 groups. You are going to write all the 8 questions, all of you. But during the presentation, one group is given only 1 question to answer in order. Suppose if you are going on answering 1 question after that, then you can have a clear idea about how to write the statement of philosophy. Number 1, include an introduction, body and conclusion. Suppose you are telling that how to learn, the first question. You just introduce that, what is the meaning of it, then what is your conclusion about it. Then the third one is keep it brief. What is the meaning of keep it brief? Don't try to write so many very lengthy teaching philosophy so that it will run to some pages. Third one, use first person and present tense. I think no need to tell you that I hona hai. It should be present tense only. Then avoid technical jargon. Don't try to write some kavita udhar nahi hona hai. Therefore, avoid technical jargon. Then discuss strategies and method. It's very, very important. Suppose if you are telling that in the teaching philosophy that in my class this is happening, don't leave it as an unanswered question. Don't leave it as an open question to the person who is reading it. You should discuss the strategies and methods which you are going to make it so that inconsistencies will be removed. Therefore, you include an introduction, you keep it brief, you use the first person, I will do, then avoid technical jargon, which meaning that use only very simple words, discuss strategies and methods. Now, this STP, you are going to write for your own subject. I will once again come back to some more questions. Actually, we are not going to take these questions because I have made these, whatever the question I'm going to show it now, I have cut short it and the questions were made very precise. But now you see, 8 more questions I wish to tell you that which also can be asked. Anyway, I'm going to give you this PPT to you. Now you can have one more STP parallelly based on these questions. What is your, actually see, this is actually being asked in the second person, but you can change it. What is my concept of learning? How do my students learn? The next question, what beliefs, theories and method make successful teaching? How do I best facilitate it? Then why do I teach the way I do? This is very interesting. Now you have to have confidence that, sir, the way I teach, the way I do. Why do I teach the way I do? Okay. What do you see as your role as a teacher? Why do you teach? I think this question, why to teach, what to teach, already we have discussed. And again, the next set of 4 questions. What are your goals for your student? Because you may be having some goals fixed for the student. But remember, whenever you are fixing the goals for the students, that goals should be simply fixed and left it as it is. Not so. You are having the responsibility to make the goals fulfill. What are your goals for yourself? I think when you are fixing a goal for somebody, you should also have a goal for yourself. How are your values and belief realized in classroom activities? Highly interesting. That's why whenever I am talking about values, I told you we will never teach values as a teacher. We will show them the values. Therefore, how are you? Your values and belief realized in classroom activities. What do you believe best to motivate students to engage in their learning? This is actually a kind of relationship problem. Once again, I will show you both the slides. Question number 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, concept, then belief, then the way you are teaching, and as a role as a teacher. Then 5, 6, 7, 8. The goals of the student, your goal and your values, how you are doing it in the class. The last one is, how do you believe best to motivate students to engage their learning? Now, apart from whatever the question which we are going to do today, you can take these 2 slides and you can start answering these questions also. A fantastic STP will be formed. Okay, well. Now, so definitely all of you will be asking me, sir, mujhe template dikha do. Remember that, friends, there is no need to follow this teaching philosophy template. It is a template available in net. Google Chacha ne mujhe diya, or I am also giving you. Teaching philosophy template, areas to address in your teaching philosophy, my aspiration, what method will I consider to teach, how I will assess student understanding. You see, very interesting. Here areas are left in the left side. On the right side, you have to write whatever the answer if you feel for the left hand side. For your student, what is your aspiration? What is your method? You have to write it on the right side. Now, this can be put in the form of a tabular form so that your teaching philosophy will be done. Okay. Now, I will show you another example. I think, remember, friend, these examples are only to motivate you, but you choose your own way of presenting your STP. Remember, it is your statement of teaching philosophy. Okay, now I will show you one more, but remember, don't try to copy paste. You write by yourself. Some sample philosophy. You see, number 1 is College of Business. You see how that person has written. I think all of you can see it. I think the font is sufficient for you to see. I am sharing this also with you. Don't worry. College of Business, somebody has written. And on education, another person has written his STP. The third person written on engineering. The fourth person has written it on teaching English. You see, he has written very clearly. You see, in all my teaching experience, graduate, I have tried to keep 2 things in mind first, like that. What actually is belief? He has written. Somebody was talking about, sir, what do you mean by that belief? Okay. Okay, very lengthy. This gentleman has written. Okay, then the next one is Italian studies. It has come from foreign, therefore we are seeing Italian studies. Okay, mathematics. Okay, mathematician has written very small. Good boy. I base my teaching on the belief that the only way to learn mathematics is to do mathematics. You write it in a simple word. While the process of reading example in textbook or from lecture notes, the real learning comes from one's own effort. You see, he is giving tips. One's own effort in solving mathematical problem. You see, he has written in the second paragraph his goal. I was talking about you have to tell your goal also. You have to fix the goal of the child also. He has written, you see, I must design the framework in which learning can take place. You see, I must design. My goal in teaching are not just to promote teaching. I also try to help students learn to think logically, learn problem solving method. I will try to help students see the course material. Okay, very interesting he has written. And somebody has written on entomology. This is only for your information. Oh, this will definitely help you. Somebody has written it on science. My philosophy is based on teaching is about learning. The primary, I think it is in US, therefore they have used US college. Okay, well. Somebody has written in miscellaneous. Okay, now you see here in this particular sample, you are seeing after every STP, okay, there is one space is given for comments. Here is a space is given for comments. which means that the person who is a higher official for this particular teacher will see the STP and he will give his or her comments. Okay, well. Okay, I think I have shown you a template and I have shown you one example also. Any other question, please? Any other doubt before we move on to the next part? Please mute your mic, unmute your mic and talk. Any questions, sir?
The template is not very clear, sir.
This will be shared with you, sir. This is a PDF file. I have simply pasted it. I will share it with you.
Thank you.
Immediately after this session, this PPT will be shared. Okay. Then this template will be shared, and whatever I have shown you that example. Just now I have shown an example of STP that also will be shared immediately. Okay, please ask question because in the next part I am going for assigning work to you. But before getting work assigned, please ask any doubt.
Is it to be written in teacher's diary, sir?
No, sir, that will not now. No, I am telling you that it may be a part of your teaching diary. It may be a part of your teacher's diary. Maybe I am talking about future, I don't know, because this is a policy matter. But the thing is that whatever you are doing, whatever your methodology you are following, whatever you are going to do, whatever your goal, then that is the place where teacher diary is the place where you can express everything. That is why teacher diary is there.
Yeah.
It's a better idea to have it in teacher diary. I think Sangathan will definitely do it, I hope. But I am not sure about it, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, because instead of having it separately, if it is in the teacher diary, it will be helpful to you also. Any other question, please? Because
Sir,
after the next slide, I am going to assign work to you.
Sir,
Yes,
I
madam.
have a doubt, sir. Sir,
Yes, ma'am.
is the STP written for the subject? Just for example, I am a TGT English. Do I write it for English in general, or do I write it for topics? I mean, do I take
No,
up
madam.
any
In
one?
general, madam. It is in general. I think you
Okay.
can. Okay, in general. For example, you are handling 2 or 3 classes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, in general, in English, how the students learn. Then how will you motivate the children? And all these questions should be answered based on the subject which you are teaching, and not only that, the students which you are handling. That is
Okay,
why
right, sir. Right.
suppose you are working in a school now, maybe 2 or 3 years you may be transferred to a school which has a different environment.
Okay.
Definitely, remember, madam, your teaching philosophy should change.
Right. Right, sir.
I think you agree with me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
That is why you have to revisit, you have to write it once again. That is a highly interesting thing about this teaching philosophy.
Right, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Shall I move, because I am going to allot work to you? Any doubt, please ask. Okay. Anyway, now you see, these are the questions which I have already shown you in one of the slides. Apart from this also, I showed 8 more questions also. But these are the questions very quickly done, maybe shortened. Now, what we are going to plan is, you have been divided into 8 groups. Okay. Before that, all the teachers should write the answers for all these questions. You will be given time. Now, I will close it within 5 minutes. You are having a time up to 2 p.m. or 2:15. I think it will be decided by principal madam. Till that time, you try to answer all these 8 questions. No need to write a very lengthy one. It may be a 2-liner or 3-liner kind of thing. You can write it in your, maybe in English or Hindi. Okay. Because some TGT Hindi is also, some TGT Sanskrits are also available in this batch. Therefore, you have to answer question to all. But don't worry, these questions immediately after this session will be put in the WhatsApp group. This particular slide converted into a JPG image will be put up in your WhatsApp group. Therefore, no need to run from pillar to post to get the questions. Therefore, these questions you have to answer. How do children learn? Write the question and write maybe 2-liner or 3-liner. How should I teach? 2-liner or 3-liner. Please try to answer all these 8 questions and keep it ready. But in the afternoon, when you come back at 2 o'clock, you will be given a chance only to answer any one of the question as per the question allotted to your group. Shall I repeat? You have to prepare the answers for all the 8 questions, but during the group work, that is the presentation of group work in the afternoon, these questions are allotted, 8 questions are allotted to 8 groups. You have to answer only those questions allotted to your group. Any doubt on this? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, I assume that there is no doubt. Okay, well, first group. Now remember, I have made a PowerPoint presentation with your names, which I received from madam. But remember, the names may be spelling mistake may be there. 2 things I wish to tell you. If spelling mistake is there, ignore. The number 2, after all the 8 groups have come out, please inform if your name is not there in any of the groups. I hope that you will not keep silent if your name is not there in any of the groups. Please try to inform if your name is not there in any of the groups. I have tried my level best to put the groups as per the subject. For example, I tried to put all the English in the group, all the science in a group, then all the Sanskrit in a group. But to make a little bit balancing, there may be a person who is not of that subject also in that group. Therefore, this is group number 1. You can note down. If your name is there, please note down. All PGT English, 6 PGT English and 2 PGT Hindi. Remember friends, in the afternoon session, you have to answer the question, how do children learn? I repeat, you have to prepare the answers for all the 8, but during the group work presentation, you have to answer only the question, how do children learn? And these groups also, I will share it with you once again. Yeah, PDF has been made with the name of the group and also with the topic, question given to them. That also I will put it in the WhatsApp immediately after this session. I think, can I move to the next one? I think up to the 8th, Mr. Dinesh Kumar Meena, you might have noted down. Okay. I will go to the group number 2. Group number 2, the question is, how should I teach? Here also 6 PGT English and 1 PGT Economics. Kindly note down, you are in group number 2. Your question is, how should I teach? Maybe question number 2. How should I teach? Remember, this will be answered based on the first question. How should student learn? Based on that, how should I teach? Highly interesting. But anyway, you will be giving only answers to this question. I think everybody has noted down. Shall I go to the next group? Okay, I will go to the group number 3.
Yes, sir.
Group number 3 question is, how do I motivate? Hello? How do I motivate the unmotivated learner? Very interesting. These are the participants in that. Only 6 are there. Biology 3, chemistry 2 and physics 1. I think all science have been, PGTs have been put in one group. Please bear with me if your name is wrongly spelled over here. Can I move to group number 4? Okay, well. Group number 4, your question is, what is my role as a teacher? 6 TGT English and 2 PRTs.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
The first name it is KP Suma. KPS Uma nahi hai. KP Suma.
Okay, sorry,
TGT
sir.
English, Mysore.
Sorry, sir. Already I told that maybe some mistakes will be there. Sorry.
KP Suma.
Okay, Suma madam, sorry. I will change it.
No problem, sir. Thank you.
Sorry, madam. Okay.
No problem, sir. No problem at all.
Okay. Now in group number 4, you have to answer the question, what is my role as a teacher? Okay, well, I think 2 PRTs and 6 TGT English are there in this group. Can I move to the group number 5? Well, group number 5, this is the question to you. What is the role of my students? What is the role of my student? Remember, I told you that your question, your STP should not contain only the role. They should do this, they should do this, they should do this. It should also contain what you should do, what you should do, what you should do. I think already I've explained. Highly interesting group. Everybody is TGT English. Well,
I think first group and first group and fifth group, more maximum people are English people.
No, sir, I have put only English, sir. English in one group I have put.
Only in first group, Ravati Iyer, Hindi, rest all English.
Now you are going to see one group is totally Sanskrit. I think I am going to group number 6. You have to write here, what are my prime objectives as a leader in the class? Here there are 4 TGT English and 2 TGT SST. What are my prime objective as the leader in the class? Anyway, that in that slide which I am going to tell you, you can note down the number of questions. Question number 1 go to question number, sorry, group number 1, 2 goes to group number 2 like that. Okay, shall I go to the next one, please? Group number 7. What learning outcome can I anticipate? This is containing 2 TGT Maths, 2 TGT Science, 1 TGT Hindi and 1 TGT WET odd man out. What learning outcomes can I anticipate? This learning outcome, I think you can get the list from NCERT also, I feel, because they are actually the learning outcomes which are being framed in a very nice manner and having a lot of research. So that can be taken. Suppose if you want to add something from your own perspective, you can add. I don't think that group number 8 to be announced. Those who are not there in any of the groups, you should be in group number 8. This is group number 8.
Sir, please announce, otherwise they will feel.
No, sir, I am announcing, sir. I'm just telling that it is very easy to identify. All TGT Sanskrit. I am announcing, sir. How do I measure the success of my students? All TGT Sanskrit will be there. Anybody wants to show all the slides once again?
Sir, Srinivasan sir, one thing.
Yes, sir.
One primary teacher from Sadalaga, that I want to see her. The primary teacher who is from Sadalaga.
Miss Amita Singh.
Yes, sir.
Amitabh ji, you are from which school?
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Sadalaka.
I will remove my mask. Wait.
It is a new school. From which school you have been deputed?
Sir, I
Amita
am
Singh?
from KV Tumkur.
Okay.
KV Tumkur. So recently I have been deputed here in KV Sadalaga.
No, I thought
And, we are
no primary teacher deputed. That's why I am watching very minutely. Your name is there. Okay, wish you good luck.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Wish you good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I think all the 8 groups names I have already told you. No need to panic. I'm giving you everything in your WhatsApp within 5 minutes. Okay. Now remember, friends, once again I repeat, you have to answer all the 8 questions in a 1-liner or a 2-liner or a 3-liner. Keep it ready, but be careful. Don't leave any of the tips which you are having in your mind. Even though it goes to 4 lines or 5 lines or it may be a paragraph. Okay. And try to answer the questions allotted to your group in order. We will start only from group number 1, because have you seen that these questions are framed in such a way that the questions are having a kind of interlinking. Therefore, if you answer a question number 1, then whatever the problems or whatever the suggestions in question number 1 will be answered by question number 2. Like that I have done. And I hope, friends, all of you will try to be very energetic. You will write and edit, and you will present an unmatched teaching philosophy. It is my hope, my belief that
Sir, how
you
they
will.
will present it?
Yes, sir.
How they will present? Each one will present, or only one person from the group?
No, sir. Actually, what we can do is, out of that 8 people, now maximum 4 to 5 we can ask, sir. Because everybody will take maximum 1 to 2 minutes only. Because they are going to simply read it. The question is very simple. They are going to read only the whatever the thing which they are having. Therefore, we can start it at 2 p.m. and we can go up to 3:45.
Okay.
I think maximum participation actually it is required. And one more thing I request from my side, sir, what you can ask them to give the answers for all the 8 and then neatly type it or whatever the way of presentation. Neat presentation, they can send it to madam, who is the coordinator, and she can compile it and she can present it to RO. So that a kind of work will be there where the STP by 53 teachers we can have, so that we can have a look over it.
Sir, you make one group leader. One from each group, one leader you make it.
Oh, whoever is in number 1 will be the leader.
Okay.
Unanimously selected.
Yes.
That's a better option also, sir.
Yes, madam.
That's better. Otherwise, you cannot select. All are good.
Okay.
Thank
Okay, I think I can close over here. It is already 12:32. It was my actually. I thought that by 12:30 I will close so that I can give sufficient time for the teachers to write. Thank you once again to RO Bengaluru, and especially Narasimham sir for continuously for the whole time you are with me, sir. Thank you very much. And my dear participants, and I hope that whatever the idea I got about this STP, I have given you the idea. Plus go panic, because this is the first time everybody is using STP. So this is the first time we are trying to do it. Therefore, in the first time there may be some hiccups are here and there. But try to answer the questions in the way you are thinking. Then just to put your thinking in that, convert it into a statement. Let us see. Let us hope that definitely it will help you in your teaching and learning process. Thank you. Anything you want to tell, sir?
Madam, at what time we have to join? 2 o'clock, huh?
2 o'clock, sir.
Okay,
Sir,
I will be joining. I want to listen from all the teachers.
Yes, sir. And my humble request to all teachers, kindly join with your G Suite ID, because